Hey everyone, I'm Alex from engVid, and today I'm about 30 minutes away from my home in a beautiful park in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. However, I haven't always lived in Canada. In fact, as some of you probably know, I was an immigrant from Poland, and I moved here with my family when I was just 7 years old. So today, I want to share my story with you so that you can know some of the struggles, some of the experiences I had, not only with learning to communicate in English, but also to socialize in a new country where I didn't understand the language. I want this video to be useful to parents who are thinking about moving to a country where English is the official language. And I want this to be useful to help them acquire some resources and to kind of put your mind at ease, to let you know that it's gonna be okay, even though your kids might struggle a little bit. And if you do find this video useful, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel, turning on notifications, and leaving a comment down below with any questions you have, or maybe letting me know about your own experiences, whether you have immigrated or you are thinking about immigrating to a country where English is the official language. So to begin, like I said, my family and I moved here when I was just 7 years old. It was me, my sisters, my mom, and my dad. And we also had some aunts and uncles who moved. And we came here to Hamilton, Ontario. So Hamilton is my hometown. It's the place where I grew up in Canada. And Hamilton has a very strong Polish community, which really helped my parents and also helped my sisters and I to adapt to, living in a new place. So we had a church community, and if you move to a country where English is the first language, it can be really helpful to help you adapt if you can find a place that has a church, a mosque, a social club, or maybe just a neighborhood that already has people that you are familiar with that speak your language, so that you can feel more comfortable in the place you have decided to move to. So that's one thing that I can tell you to do. This wind in Canada, I tell you. All right. If it flows for the rest of the video, it's fine, guys. Don't worry. The next thing I want to talk about is school. So on my first day of school, we were sitting around in a circle, and the teacher was asking each student to introduce themselves. And I think we had to give our name and tell the class something about ourselves. At least that's what I think the activity was, because I didn't understand a word of anything anyone said. So anyway, we got to me in the circle, and I saw everyone looking at me. Like, all these faces were sitting in a circle, everyone's looking at me. I don't know how to communicate. I don't know a single word of English at that time, and I started to cry. So for the rest of the day of my first day of school in Canada, the teacher gave me a paintbrush and told me to paint. So I still remember I painted an orange car. It was kind of like a box of a car. The paint ran down the sides and everything. So my first day of school in Canada was not great. I cried, and they let me paint, but I was happy about the painting, not about the crying. So a second thing to know, in addition to, having a community that can help you to adapt to the new place, you need to know that your kids will struggle. Your kids will have trouble communicating. They will probably cry, and it's okay. They are resilient, right? So continuing with the crying, there's more crying. I don't remember this, but my mom told me that when my sisters and I came home from school on many, many days, we were very frustrated, we were angry, and we would cry to her and say, "We want to go back to Poland. We hate this Canada. I hate speaking English," or "I hate this language." And this was very strong, obviously strong language for kids. And it really upset my mom. It was really hard for her. So what you need to know is it's going to be hard for you too, to see your kids going through these struggles, to see them having a hard time. But if you're a parent, you probably are already familiar with your kids struggling and feeling bad when they fall down or something like this. So continuing on. So yes, I cried on my first day of school. I cried when I came home from school sometimes. And oh, when I was in school, I fought with my classmates sometimes. So my mom still has the report cards from grade 2, grade 3, and it says, Alex is a little rough with his playmates. And I'm not proud of this because generally now as an adult, I don't really like violence. I don't fight people. But when I was a kid and I couldn't communicate, the way I communicated was, I guess, with my fists. And that makes me sound tough, but I wasn't. I was a 7-year-old kid probably doing this to somebody. So yeah, and I'm not proud of it. I broke a kid's glasses. It wasn't, yeah, I'm not proud of that one either. Anyway. So to let you know, your kids might act in ways that are new for them and new for you. Like I've never been a violent person, but I was when I was like 7 years old, 8 years old, just because I couldn't communicate. So communication, how did I actually learn English? Well, when other kids were in class, like if they were learning history or geography or mathematics or whatever kids learn in grade 2 and grade 3, sometimes I would go to an English teacher in the school. So the school, assigned an English teacher to me to teach me English for like 1 hour or 30 minutes a day, something like that. And I remember the one challenge that I had, the one that's very vivid in my mind is I had problems with the sound t and th. And this is for tree and 3. I can still see the paper, the number 3, and a picture of a tree, and the teacher telling me to say 3, tree. And me, Alex, new to Canada, I said tree, tree, because there is no TH sound in Polish. So it was tough, but now I can say it. I can say 3, tree, right? No problem. So it took me, how long did it take me to learn English? It took me about 1 or 2 years to really start having conversations with the people in my class. Before that, I felt like I had walls around my head. And when people spoke to me, I could nod and I could smile and I kind of got what was going on. But those walls started getting further and further away with time as my world opened up and I started to understand more. I started to, learn how to read in English as well with the help of my teachers. And after about 2 years, I was pretty comfortable. So it is a process. You need to know that when you are moving. And you are going to have struggles as a parent because you're going to hate seeing your kids crying. You're going to hate seeing your kids having such a difficult time socializing. But they will get there. They will find friends. And they will eventually be able to learn the language. So after that, I went through the Canadian education system. My grades were much better after the first 2 years or 3 years. You know what? Now that I look back, getting a C when I didn't even know the language, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Anyway, I went through the Canadian education system. I got my bachelor's degree. I got my master's degree. And eventually I started teaching the language that my mom said I hated when I was a young kid. So here I am. I'm Alex from engVid on YouTube talking to you about English and the struggles I had with it. And you can see how far that, I have come now. So just to let you know, to recap, number 1, if you can find a community to help you feel more comfortable in the country you're moving to, that is a great thing if you can do that. Number 2, be ready for your kids to struggle. They will, but it doesn't last forever. They will get through it. They will learn the language and they will make friends. It's just the nature of life. It will happen. And finally, number 3, just enjoy the journey, I guess. It can be difficult. It's a difficult journey, I know. But just commit to the process, basically. All right, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments what you thought of my story. Tell me your stories about maybe your own immigration experiences, what you are going through now if you are a parent, or maybe if you're a kid and you're watching these videos. My videos are mostly kid friendly, so if you're a kid, hi. And until next time, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for clicking, everybody. Good luck with everything. I wish you success in your journeys and success in your studies.